Assalamu alaikum. Today we will start a series, The Story of Science. Have you ever came up with questions such as how did we started science or science came first or technology? So our very first question is when did we start the science? Basically it were the Babylonians. Do you know what's the difference between science and technology? Science is about knowing and technology is about doing. Human first learned by doing. That means technology came first. We started growing crops and cooking food, but we didn't know what and how it works. We started using fire, but science of fire, the chemistry of combustion, we discovered quite recently in late 18th century. Back then, Earth was considered to be the center of the universe. Sky was divided into 12 parts, and that is where the system of zodiac came from. It were also the Babylonians who invented sexagesimal system. It is 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. Have you ever wondered why we had to make a calendar and mark seasons? It was because of agriculture. When population grew, humans need to grow crops. Crops grow in their seasons, so they had to keep an account of seasons. That is how first idea of calendar began. 3,500 years ago, Egyptian civilization was thriving. They made even precise calendar. They added 5 more days and year was taken off 365 days. They also learned how to embalm their deads. They removed all internal organs. An interesting question is how did they remove the brain of the dead? Surprisingly, they scooped it through nostrils. Science in those days was about three things: counting, astronomy, and medicine. Healing was also done by the use of herbs. They also used magic, so there was a mix of science, magic, and religion. Their life and civilization was tied up with River Nile. Do you know how did they start their year? It was with the flooding of Nile. Egyptians wrote in form of hieroglyphs, writing in picture form. How did we decode hieroglyphs? It was quite challenging. We had no clue. Thanks to discovery of the famous Rosetta Stone, we were able to understand meaning of hieroglyphs. Rosetta Stone had writing in three languages: hieroglyphs, Greek, and Demotics, which is another form of Egyptian writing. Egyptians had their own form of numerals that was based on decimal system of 10 and its multiples. But they did not come up with the idea of place value. You know who invented fractions? It were the Egyptians who invented it. Kings collected tax on crops that grew in the Nile Valley. Symbols of fractions were ascribed to eye of their god Horus. Are you aware of Egyptian fraction? This was how they used to do it. So that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to listen more, keep tuned.